Welcome to Unscripted. Thank you for joining. Today's podcast, I will be reading off some notes. I will not be editing. It will be completely unfiltered. I will try to keep my potty words to myself, but yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, today's podcast is about bullying. There are many types of bullies today. I want to focus on corporate bullying. It is often overlooked or not talked about. I will let you know that I have taken many notes. I am reading off of them. I don't want to miss a word. This is a difficult podcast. I'm putting myself out there and I actually feel a little bit vulnerable. My discomfort isn't going to stop me. And I would hope that if you are being bullied, you will be able to work past that discomfort and find a little peace yourself. These words need to be said because I'm not the only person experiencing this abuse. The more I talk to people about it, the more that it's happening everywhere. And until people really start to focus on it and speak about it, it's going to continue. Think of it this way. Your boss, manager, slave driver, director, whatever title they've been given, they actually have more impact in your life than your doctor. So if you've got a good one, be thankful and enjoy every moment of it. If you've got a bad one, I'm sorry, it really sucks. I've had a bad one. I've had a bad couple. So just stick through it, find a support group, and get the hell out of there before it impacts your entire life. There's a particular shame that comes with being bullied at work. It introduces confusion or self-doubt, and it impacts almost all aspects of a person's life, not just at work. Your home life is impacted, your desire to go out and do things is impacted. Every aspect of your life will be impacted by this. While being bullied, you will be isolated, left out of meetings, workshops, or discussions. You'll be called names. You will be treated like you're the problem. If continuous beating you down doesn't encourage you to leave, and they aren't able to destroy you, they will discredit you in the meetings that you aren't invited to. They will highlight you in workshops that you're not in, but it won't be in a positive way. While being bullied, stay strong. If you're being bullied right now, stay strong. Talk to somebody. Okay, I got this. It's a tough topic, but I'm going to stay on track and we got this. What happens when you're being bullied? Well, not only will you be left out of things, the skip level meetings will stop. The asking you, how are you doing? That will stop. And the campaign for your removal will start, whether you've done anything to deserve it or not. They will fabricate it, they will lie, or they will catch you on the most teeny tiny minute detail to prove that you are not worth being there. You will be called names. You will be treated like you were the problem. If continuous beating you down and encouraging you if continuous beating you down doesn't encourage you to leave, and they aren't able to destroy you, they will discredit you in the meetings that you are not invited to. They will discredit you in areas with other managers and other leadership that you know absolutely nothing about, but will impact your career. Not only will the skip level stop and the campaign for your removal will be in full force, but you won't know about it. They won't speak to you about it. It will be a topic that no one discusses. If you're receiving or in the process of this campaign, it can be confusing. It can be challenging. It's hard to discuss with others because it feels raw almost, like you've done something to deserve it, but you're not sure what it is. It is embarrassing and difficult to understand why. Why are they doing this? Because you have a new manager? Because they want to showcase themselves that there's no problems? That they want to pretend to be perfect for their new promotion? Maybe they just don't like you. Maybe they just don't like themselves. Often you'll sit and ask, why is it happening? What did I do to deserve this? Maybe nothing. I myself have experienced corporate bullying, and for a short time, it turned my life upside down. I haven't talked about I haven't talked about it before, but I was with a coaching client a couple of weeks ago, and they told me that I probably wouldn't understand what was going on with him, and I asked, well, give it a shot. Talk to me. Turns out they were being bullied by a new manager who wanted everything to be perfect at work and didn't want them bringing up any questions about the things that weren't perfect. So instead of trying to figure it out, they started getting a rash of undue shit from this little peon that is now got a pretty title and no clue what to do with it. When I heard that, I knew it was time to talk about corporate bullying. I was isolated, removed from bodies of work that I loved and was certified to do, and I was discredited in meetings where I wasn't there to defend myself. I had a director who met with me twice for 30-minute phone calls. Almost the entire time, they talked about themselves. Everything about themselves. Their mind was already made up about who I was, what I was, before we even walked in the door, because they had received crappy feedback about me from an intern manager, one that was an absolute train wreck and left a pile of bodies wherever they went. And those bodies were usually fired or discredited employees. Why? Because they didn't know what they were doing. They were overwhelmed. And instead of saying, hey, I need help, it was easier to blame everyone else. The feedback did me in. I didn't get fired at that point or talked to about it, but instead, I was put on that list. The conversations were happening, just not with me. One that had left a cesspool of mistakes that needed to be cleaned up for their short few months of chaos. That is the manager that took me out. It was easier to discredit everyone around them and fire the people around them than admit they made a mistake and they were in over their head. They did their best to break me. I will admit that. I doubted myself. I questioned my own abilities. You know what? I survived. So will you. Take care of yourself. Get or use your support system. Don't try to walk through this alone, because it's hard. Your darkest chapters or your job do not define you. You can't make a person feel small when they know who they are. And that very quality will be the thing that they try to destroy in you. When you walk in confident and you do not need them, they will come after you. Know that ahead of time. Your darkest chapters or jobs do not define you. I want you to hear that. It needs to be heard. You're going to get called names to your face and probably not to your face. So let's go over a few of the names I was called. In a very short time, I was called, this is in a 6-month period, toxic, negative, bringing toxicity into the team, hard to deal with, burned out, would make a good dude. If I was a male, I would have already been promoted. Difficult, aggressive, emotional, too much, bossy, not a team player, a bitch, cold, defensive, difficult to manage, always pissed off, confrontational, always looking for the problems, always pointing out the problems. Seriously, people, we're not on the freaking playground. Keep your damn opinions to yourself if you're one of the people bullying. Because out of the list of names that I just called out, not one of those are motivational. Not one of those make me want to do my best. And if you're doing that to others, how do you expect them to feel? I was told that if there was a problem, then I should report it. I reported it 8 times until I went to HR. Once I went to HR, 6 more times before my departure in HR. Instead of fixing the issues, I was labeled as the problem. That's usually how it goes. Why? Because I was honest and did not bring up toxic positivity with me each and every day. What does that mean? That means I didn't walk in with my head shoved up my ass, a smile on my face, and pretended that everything was great, because you know why? It wasn't great. And if you're a strong leader, then you would take that feedback and you would find ways to implement solutions, not try to stick a person sideways, can them so you can go kiss somebody's ass for another promotion. Yeah, toxic positivity. I love that one. Instead, I called out the problems. I asked for the issues to be fixed. They didn't want the problems discussed. They didn't want the problems out in the open. They wanted them buried. They wanted everything to be shiny so they could continue kissing management's butt and trying to advance their careers. Yes, I only said butt. Be proud of me. There was a curse word waiting. Who cares about the lives they destroyed or the people they stepped on in the process to get their newest shiny title? So, title of this podcast: Corporate bullying isn't just a bad boss, it's a broken system. Let's be honest, when most people hear bullying, they think of playground taunts, high school cliques. But corporate bullying, it's quieter, slicker, and far more insidious. Corporate bullying is what happens when power is weaponized under the guise of professionalism. It's not always yelling or slamming doors. Sometimes it is passive-aggressive emails, strategic exclusion, or having your ideas dismissed until someone else says them. I'm real familiar with that one. Wow, I could tell you some stories. It's the manager who praises you publicly, then undermines you behind closed doors. It's being labeled difficult for asking fair questions. It's being told you're not a cultural fit because you won't play along with the dysfunction. And it's everywhere. If you haven't experienced it, I guarantee you know someone who has. So be sympathetic. The many faces of corporate bullying. What do they look like? Corporate bullying can wear many masks. Verbal abuse, masked as direct feedback. Gaslighting, where your reality is questioned until you don't trust your own instincts. Exclusion, like being left out of key emails or off email threads. Sabotage, like being set up to fail, missing information, or impossible deadlines. Or they will start a body of work handed off to you, not having a clue what they started, and then when it failed, go, I didn't do that. Retaliation, subtle or overt, for speaking up or reporting misconduct. Yes, that's right. They will retaliate against you when you do speak up about the problems. It happened 8 times. Every time I spoke up about the problem, they went and talked to the person, and then the person tortured me for the next 2 weeks for having the audacity to speak up. For over a year, I didn't have PTO or days off. I tried taking it. I tried taking days off. I had over 30 days of comp time built up from vacations being pulled that I gave out to teams and other people because I couldn't take any time off. Every time I tried taking even half a day off, My manager at the time would pick a fight with the team, and I would get called to come and sort out the mess. I reported it. Nothing happened. Why does it hurt so much? Why does bullying hurt so much? Because you are told to be grateful, because you worked hard to be here, because you've internalized the idea that if something feels wrong, it must be you. You're actively discredited for a job that you've done for multiple years or that you've studied for, and you're way past qualified, but some wanker steps in and destroys it for you. And it's not because of you. Corporate bullying isolates you. It makes you doubt your worth, your skills, your memory, your instincts. And worst of all, it is often so normalized that by the time you realize what's happening, the damage is already done. That's what happened in my case. Before I even knew it was happening, the damage was already done. You're not overreacting. That's the first thing you're going to hear. Oh, you're overreacting. It's fine. It's a good job. Suck it up. Don't listen to people. Not when they're saying shit like that, because clearly they haven't experienced what corporate bullying can do in your life and the damage it can do to every part of your life. If you constantly second guessing yourself at work, if you're crying after meetings, a couple times I've done that. If your confidence has been chipped away little by little, please hear this. You are not overreacting. You're not. You're not weak. You're not stupid. You're not lazy. You're not overreacting. You're not over emotional. What's happening to you is bullshit, and that's what you're reacting to. The crying, most likely out of anger, not out of fear, or out of confusion or frustration. Hear it again. You are not overreacting. You're reacting to mistreatment, and your feelings are valid. They might not tell you that. They're paid not to, especially HR. HR is there to protect the company, not you. They're not there for you. I know that's hard to hear. What? They're people. They're supposed to help you. No, they're there to protect the company. Minimize the lawsuits. Fix the damage before it can blow up in their face. Now, I'm not bagging on HR. I've met some absolutely amazing HR people. Now they call themselves P&C. There are terrific people out there in every field. So at least give them a chance if you're experiencing this. What can be done? Corporate bullying thrives in silence. Here are a few ways to start changing that story a little bit and get it talked about. Speak up safely. Don't go crazy. Don't run into an upper manager, couple skip levels thinking it's going to work. Speak up when it's safe. Document everything. If you can, talk to someone you trust, ideally outside of your chain of command. Because if you're in a chain of command where they have the mentality of, I'm going to let the people manage how they see fit for their teams, they're not going to do anything. They're going to sit on their ass when you report 8 times an ongoing issue. That's what happens. Validate your experience. Gaslighting loses power when you name it. When you're being gaslit and you tell somebody, hey, this is what you're doing, it stops. They're not going to appreciate it for you, or they're not going to appreciate the fact that you did it, but it might actually stop it. Journaling, therapy, or support groups can help restore your voice. Highly recommend journaling. If you're going through it, write about it. Write about your feelings, write about your emotions, get them out of you. Don't sit and bottle them all up, because that will do more damage. Push for accountability. That one's hard. Advocates for An advocate for clear reporting processes, anonymous feedback channels, and better HR and management training. Don't just put a manager in there and leave him and hope they do good. It's like Twilight with the new vampires. Their blast radius is enormous when they're a new manager. You don't have a clue. Give them training programs. Teach them well. If you're in HR, recommend those things. My final thoughts. We spend most of our lives, a lot of our lives at work. You deserve it to do it in a place where your value isn't tied to silence, compliance, or being palatable. You're there to do a job. It's not about their personal feelings about you. It's about the work you do. Corporate bullying isn't a personality flaw. It is a systematic failure in that organization and potentially that company. And calling it out isn't weakness. It's the first step towards something better. Even though you're going to be labeled, kicked, thrown out on your ass, it is the first step to making it better. Because there's only so many people they can throw out on their ass before they earn the reputation of being a toxic company. You're not alone. You are not the problem. And never, ever do you deserve to be treated this way. No one does. Absolutely no one deserves to be treated this way. So if they're doing that to you and telling you it's your fault, they are full of shit. If they tell you you've brought it on themselves, I have one message for them. It's not you. Let's stop shrinking to survive broken systems. Let's start telling the truth, speaking it loud, and letting people know it is utter bullshit what's being done. Corporate bullying can show up in many forms, some obvious, others a little subtle, insidiously subtle. They just kind of creep in there. Here's a breakdown of the most common forms of corporate bullying, from overt abuse to covert manipulation. Verbal abuse. That one's popular. Public humiliation or ridicule in meetings. Check. Name calling or using demeaning, sarcastic tones. Check. Shaming someone for mistakes or asking questions. Check. Harsh, unwanted criticism. Or, in my case, I would make a good dude. There is no place in leadership, and in this case, it was just simply management because they didn't deserve the title of leader, for anyone to say, you make a good dude, or you make a good chick, or you would be promoted if you were a dude. That shit does not belong in corporate. It doesn't belong in business. We take jobs and we go to jobs because, let's be honest, we need the money to survive or to pay for our lives. We're not going there to get some schmuck's opinion of life, of us, or of who we are or what we should be. And if they're giving that to you and it's unwanted, it's bullying. And it needs to stop. Undermining and sabotage. Setting someone up to fail by withholding key information. Yeah, like handing them a campaign that's not quite baked, and then when it crashes, taking 20 steps back. Assigning unrealistic deadlines or workloads. Little fact, a program manager cannot do 193 programs at one time successfully. Interfering with or discrediting someone's work. Taking credit for others' efforts while deflecting blame. That's not a leadership skill. Exclusion and isolation is our next category. This is a one that people like using a lot as well. Not inviting someone to key meetings, discussions, or workshops. Seriously? Leaving them out of team communications or social functions. I don't mind that social function so much with that group. Withholding collaboration or support. Giving them the silent treatment or acting like they're invisible, like no skip level meetings. Hello. Oh, I like this next one. Gaslighting. Yep, gaslighting. We love that term, don't we? Let's talk about what it is. Denying previous conversations or shifting blame. Twisting facts to make the target question their reality. Telling someone they're too sensitive or overreacting when they speak up. Making someone feel crazy for noticing patterns of mistreatment, like reporting it 8 times and then being retaliated against 8 times because they said, hey, she's the one who said this. So then the manager can come back and be like, ah, you shit, kick, kick, kick. Why would you do that? Yeah, that's what it is. Obstruction and control. Micromanaging to the point of disempowerment. If you have to go to a manager or director to wipe your nose or send out an email, that's that. Yeah, they're control freak and they are trying to pin your spine to the ground so they can control anything coming in or going out of the group, which usually means they're trying to take credit for every success so they can line themselves up for their next promotion that they do not deserve. Blocking access to professional development opportunities or a different job to get the hell out of that group. Freezing promotions or raises without cause. Justifying fabrication so you get less of a performance review so they can take your bonus and any potential merit increase, even though you have multiple years of showing your work and that it's not deserved. And monitoring work excessively to intimidate. They will show up at your meetings. They will question everything you're doing, including in front of others, discrediting and pretending that they actually know more than you do. Yes, it happens. Misuse of power. Retaliating against someone for speaking up. So when you report them and they come back and treat you like shit for 2 weeks, that is called retaliation. They're not supposed to do that. And if you're HR or management chain and you've seen that and heard about it and done absolutely nothing, you suck. Totally suck. Favoritism for allies and punishment for the dissenters. So if you're calling out the problems, they're going to treat you like crap. But if you kiss their ass, they're going to love you. Threats of demotion or job loss for trivial matters. Yeah, that happens too. They'll even give you warning write-ups because they actually can't find anything that you're doing wrong. So they will manufacture warning write-ups, and then they will impact your promotion or your merit increase by calling out the fact that you got a warning write-up, and they justify it. Yeah. Using authority to intimidate or manipulate. Do your job or you will not have one. That is a common phrase that you will hear. Disguised as culture. Yeah, I like this one. Toxic positivity, forcing people to stay upbeat at all cost. Let's go over that one again. Toxic positivity, forcing people to stay upbeat at all costs. You're not allowed to have negative emotions. Let's say we have a Friday meeting where the doofus in charge insists that everybody on the call give how you feel between 1 to 10. That's therapy. That's not corporate work. No. And then if you're below a 5 or a lower score, reporting you for it. What the hell? One, that shouldn't be in the corporate office place at all. It's not a therapy session. And if you want to gauge how people are doing, ask them on a Monday and not a Friday. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Just joking culture. Bullying disguised as humor. Oh, well, I was just joking when I said you would make a good dude. Really? Demanding unpaid overtime or 24/7 availability as a norm. This would come in the form of, hey, I'm going to take the on-call. Then they go into it for an hour, decide it's boring, and then call you in when you have 4 days off to run the on-call for 4 days straight, 16 hours a day. No pay, no days off for it. You just do it. You do it because it needs to be done, not because it's right. And having people do it and pulling people in, it's not okay. Celebrating burnout as it is a badge of honor. Managerial neglect is our next category. Ignoring bullying behavior from others, peers, or leadership. When you report someone 8 times and the leader sends you back to work with them, even though they know that you will be retaliated against, even though you've shown them in writing the retaliation that's happening at work and at home, all hours of the day and night, especially 2 to 4 a.m. calls and texts over and over and over. And they do absolutely nothing. That is managerial neglect. Failing to intervene or protect employees. When your employee comes to you and tells you they're being harassed, you should take it seriously. When they show you that they are being harassed, you should not tell them to go back and work with the person who is harassing them, knowing full well they will be retaliated against. Minimizing complaints or making HR inaccessible. We'll leave that right there. Using fit or culture as a mask for discrimination. Next category, covert microaggressions. Repeated interruptions or being talked over. Credit being given to someone else for your ideas. Oh yeah. Yeah, familiar with that one. Wow. Oh, so much I want to say, but yeah, I can't. Constantly questioning someone's competence or expertise when you are new and you know absolutely shit. Overlooking someone for projects or promotions without explanations. Reporting to 5 people in 8 months. So when they start switching out your managers and your directors over and over, it's like, maybe I'll get a better one. No, what you're actually going to get is 0 chance for promotion, 0 chance for a good merit raise, because every time a new person comes in, they have no idea what you've done, what you've sacrificed, and the hell you have been through to be in that particular position. All they see is where you're at now and not what it took to get there. And they are so busy kissing ass to get their own promotions, they do not give a shit about you. So there you go. Now, as far as how you treat people, I'm going to use a little garden analogy because we know I love my garden. You don't fix a garden, you love it. You nurture it, you fertilize it, you water it, you pull the weeds, and you care for it. You do not kick the shit out of it until it produces. It will not produce. It will wilt and die, just like your employees are. When they're getting burned out, no, it's usually not burned out. It's usually they can no longer tolerate your bullshit. But your shiny little titles don't want to hear that, do you? You can't torture a person into being who you think they should be. You mold them for the role and accept them for who they are. No matter how hard they kick you, you get back up, you look them straight in the eyes, and you let them know that they have not broke you, and they will not break you. Every time. Look them in the eyes. If they're going to stab you in the back and screw you over, they're going to do it while they look you in the eyes. Okay, now I know this can be a challenging topic. I know this can be triggering. If you need to talk, DM me. I got you. I got it. If that seems awkward to you, come onto the podcast, go to somebody, find someone to talk about. Do not internalize this. Do not keep it inside you. Do not tell yourself, I've got this, I deserve this, or it'll get better. It most likely won't. This will continue until they have managed to break you or get rid of you. It's not a lot of happy endings when you go down this path. If you don't talk to someone, journal, write it down, get it out of you, please. Don't walk through this alone. Now, I know this has been a hard podcast, a little bit tough to listen to. Man, you deserve better. You deserve to be treated like a human. You deserve to be able to go to work, do your job, go home, and live your best life. You don't deserve to be humiliated, treated like crap, talked down to, pushed out of things that you're good at. Those things aren't about you, even though they are impacting every bit of your life. They are tearing you apart. Step away. Find another job. Get the hell out of that situation. You deserve better, and you deserve people around you who respect you. Thanks for being here. I hope out there somebody listened to this and it helps. I hope you don't stay as long as I did. I hope that if you're going through it, it doesn't tear you apart, rip up your life, because I let it do that. I stayed too long, and it almost broke me. I'll be honest. It was hard. It was personal. I tried to do better. I tried to do more. But when they've labeled you and they've already started isolating you, it's not much left to do but leave. Okay, now go have an amazing week, amazing weekend, take on life, and live your best life. You deserve it. Thanks, and can't wait to talk to you next time.